Hey guys.
Hey fam.
So we're here because we wanted to give you a quick message before you see the podcast we recorded with Freelee.
I can't even guarantee it's going to be quick. It might be a message.
Yeah, we wanted to come on here and just have a chat with you guys first because we really felt like this was necessary for this week.
Yes.
So we're going to have a quick talk with you. And then later in this episode, you will see our podcast with Freelee. Really quick, this entire podcast is brought to you by MeUndies, the sexiest underwear in the game, the softest underwear in the game.
Oh.
Micromodal fabric, twice as soft as cotton. It says, "Hey, cotton, I just beat you out." Get 20% off your order, guys. Go to MeUndies.com/Jenna Julien. That's MeUndies.com/Jenna Julien. This podcast is also brought to you by Boll Branch, softest bedding I've ever slept on. Most quality bedding, towels, sheets, duvet covers, everything you need. Boll Branch has you covered. Quality, luxurious bedding for very affordable prices. You can get 20% off your entire order when you use product code Jenna Julien and go to bollandbranch.com. That's BOLL and branch.com, code Jenna Julien. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
So, I will let you begin.
All right, I'll begin.
Okay.
We really strongly felt like we needed to make this message right now because we had Freelee on the podcast. Freelee is a YouTuber. She's a vegan YouTuber. And we have never in the past had any sort of opposition to a guest. And first and foremost, we want to let you know that we have heard you. We have read your comments. We understand where you're coming from, and we hear you and we care. And this is our podcast, but this is very much a two-way street. And I want you to know that, you know, maybe this was something that I thought was a good idea, and I still think it's a good idea, because I do think it's important that everyone does have a voice, and including yours, including mine, including yours, and including Freelee's. And I want you to know how much we hear your voices when you say that you do not want Freelee on the podcast. You do not want to hear her. You do not want to listen to her because you think that she is a bully. She does things that you don't like. And I understand you. You're valid in your feelings. I hear you, and we are listening to you. And there are many people out there that are fans of Freelee. And I think the best way to do this was that in full disclosure, we did edit down the podcast a lot. Probably about half.
Yeah.
And things that we cut out of the podcast were general vegan talk, because the first half hour of the podcast was general vegan talk. The second half was broken down into discussing her current situation with Blogolades, which is a copyright issue on YouTube, and the second half was her current thing going on with Tana Mojo, which we decided to cut out because you can see on both of their channels pretty much what's going on, and we just talked to her about that.
We left in Blogolades because we felt like that was kind of an interesting topic that had not been talked about very much, so we left that and we cut the Tana part.
And is most related to what we do on this podcast channel in the first place. But just in case you're wondering what you missed on Tana Mojo, we all like Tana Mojo. Everyone likes Tana. They just had a video back and forth, so we talked about it. But I think something that might help right now is if I disclose why I agreed to have, and we agreed to have, but mostly me, agreed to have Freelee on the podcast. Even though so many of you, in hindsight, after the fact, once you realized that we did it, were very angry about it. And I can only speak for myself. That's all I have. So I would like to just disclose to you why I made that decision and why I feel okay sitting in a room with Freelee and having a real human talk with her. First of all, I think that everyone deserves to have an opinion and a voice. So even, if I was not a vegan or our views did not align in any of those respects, I would still like to sit in a room and hear someone express why they think a certain way or feel a certain way. But also because, and I say a little bit of this in the podcast, I found out who she was many years ago because she made a video of me that was like, Jenna Marbles gained weight after going off her vegan diet. And I was getting flooded with tweets and everything being like, Jenna, drag her. Like, she made this video calling you fat. Jenna, drag her. And I clicked on the video and I watched it. And at that point, I had already been back and forth vegan once or twice, I think. Like, a year of those was a solid year of being vegan. And I realized that she really wasn't calling me fat. She really wasn't doing these...
Fat shaming.
She wasn't doing what I was told she was doing. And that she just was a really passionate vegan and made here's this stranger, across the world in Australia that was so passionately vegan that had realized that I had become unvegan. And I took that entire video as... wow, this is actually completely flattering that someone cares about me that much. I was sort of at a weird time in my life when she made that. I'm pretty sure I had just broken up with my boyfriend at the time. Like, I really felt like someone cared about me enough to make that video. And that was a very unpopular opinion. Most people saw it as clickbait. They saw it as, her making fun of me. And I just did not feel any of that. And I typed that in the comments. And I told Freelee how I felt, and I've felt the same way about her ever since, which I sort of thought people knew, that I didn't mind Freelee. And I can only speak for myself, and I want to emphasize that again. If you're upset at her for making other videos about
or even that video.
Or even this video, you are entitled to feel the way that you feel about her and the content that she makes. If she's made videos in the past that have upset you, if she's said things in the past that have upset you, and Freelee's boyfriend as well, if they've said things in the past that have hurt and offended you, you are entitled to your feelings and to feel the way that you feel.
And I really want you guys not to feel like because they were in our house, on our podcast, having conversations with us, that we automatically align with things that they've done.
Right.
Everyone is their own person. And we, part of us hearing what you have said includes the fact that maybe you were personally offended by something they've said in the past, and you were hurt that we would kind of welcome them onto our platform and identify with them. We want you to know, just because we gave them a voice, just because we had them on as a guest, it doesn't automatically lump everything they've said in, with our opinions, and vice versa.
Right.
We don't know them. We had a nice encounter, and that was about it.
Yeah, and this might be something that happens again in the future, that we have a guest on where you feel strongly about. We want you to know that we are listening to you. We will always listen to you, and that your voice matters. And just because maybe someone's beliefs don't align with yours or mine or Julian's, it's okay to sit and kind of have a conversation with them, or to listen to them. And listening to this podcast is a choice as well. You don't have to listen to the rest of this podcast if you don't want to. And I think that's kind of the point sometimes to have a podcast, is that maybe you're sitting next to somebody that you have a completely different view of things about, and that's okay. And in the bigger picture, maybe the way that I feel about veganism, or you, or Freelee, or strategies online, or, what she makes or does for a living, if you don't agree with that at all, that's okay. And you can still like someone for certain parts of them and not like other parts of them. It's like having a brother that just fucking loves some music that you hate. I will still love my brother. You know what I mean? I hope that if for some reason this podcast makes you upset, or makes you think less of me, or less of Julian, or less of Freelee, or anything like that, that's okay. You are entitled to feel and think the way that you feel, and to voice that to us, because we are listening to you and we do hear you. But just to fully disclose why I decided to have her on here, it was because I have never really seen what she did to me personally as bullying, and I was not affected by it. And some of the comments or people on those particular videos about me, it did feel a little bit like I was being told how to process this, and I didn't feel that way. I felt like she was coming from a place of caring, and I always understood that. And that's why, to me, it meant a lot that she made that video. It meant a lot whenever she would check in on me in terms of accountability, because it served a purpose for me in my life. And it helped me ultimately become the person that I wanted to be. And I appreciated that help, and I appreciated the support from her. You never have to feel that way. You never have to feel what I feel at all. If she's made a video about you or that hurt your feelings or anything like that, you're entitled to feel everything that you feel. But that's why I decided I would like to meet Freelee, and I would like to have her on the podcast. I think that might make for an interesting discussion. And that's about all I can say. But other than that, this is a two-way street, and I do want you to feel like you can tell us, like, hey, Jenna, hey, Julien, I'm not comfortable with this, and I would appreciate the thoughtful discussions to carry on in the comments that you guys have been having. If you don't want to watch it at all, please don't. Please check back in next week. We'll see you next time for something different. But that's pretty much what I got.
And I want to just second that as much as I possibly can, that we do listen, and we value your opinions very, very much. I also feel like this is a great learning experience for us.
For everybody.
For everyone. Moving forward, for the podcast, and just kind of in general, I do feel like this will serve us for making decisions that we can be ready for.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that in the best way possible. You know, you were just saying sometimes we'll have a guest that you necessarily won't agree with everything they say or their values or their content, which I do.
Or even just us together. Absolutely.
And I do appreciate that about the podcast. I think that's a very cool thing, that maybe every single podcast isn't for you. You know, with all of that said, if you have made it this far right now, maybe you will get something out of the conversation that takes place with Freelee, given that we tried to formulate it in something that wouldn't just rub everyone the wrong way. We wanted to make it accessible. We wanted to be fair to Freelee, but also very much to you guys.
Because that was important to me also. You know, we invited Freelee on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And I know that there are Freelee fans out there that are looking forward to hearing her and what she has to say. And I wanted to be fair to Freelee's time and Harley's time for coming here and doing this with us. And we didn't want to not show any of it. And I'm not saying that we won't ever post the full version. But for now, in this given circumstance, we wanted to really let you guys know that you're being heard. And I don't want to overstep my boundaries or Julien to overstep his boundaries in terms of creating something that you guys really don't want. I'd say maybe it's not half and half of want and don't want, or not feedback, or, you know, we don't know how many people want or don't want this.
There was enough for us to do this.
It was enough for us to at least let you know that we care, we're listening to you, and we're not just going to post something with that amount of backlash and not have you feel like you're being heard. And we really do hear you, which is why we chopped this down into, some general vegan talk. And the part of the podcast that at least explains a little bit of my relationship with Freelee and why I enjoy what she has done for me personally, and the part that has to do with copyright, because it fits in the best probably with this particular podcast. But that's it. And I'm trying my best. I'm just a person. Julien's just a person. It's not like we have people helping us tell us what to do in situations like this. So I hope that you know that we are doing the best that we can with this particular situation, and that we're trying to handle it in a way that is fair to everyone, and that we care. That's it. We care about everybody. We care.
That's it.
Yeah?
No,
Okay.
I think that's good. Thank you guys for everything, for having an honest discussion with us and an honest line of communication with us always. Means a lot to us. And you showing up here means a lot to us. So if you'd like to listen, please continue. Here's a short word from our sponsors.
Yeah, and if you don't want to listen, that's okay.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, and thanks for being fam, and thanks for, telling us your honest and open feedback, and we're here to listen. So
thanks, guys. This episode of the Jenna Julien Podcast is brought to you by MeUndies, guys. Whether you're wearing a suit or sweats, you spend almost 24 hours a day in your underwear. But instead of making a statement like Superman tights in his everyday clothes, your underwear is probably boring. MeUndies can change that. Guys, it is literally twice as soft as cotton. They use a fabric called micromodal fabric, and you don't really understand what that means until you put on a pair. MeUndies has such a comfortable fit. And if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free, no questions asked. MeUndies has dozens of styles, limited edition prints. You guys have seen them in my vlogs. You've seen them kind of everywhere because they have new designs all the time and they're crazy comfortable. The shipping in the US is free and Canada, and you can save up to $8 a pair with MeUndies subscription plan. Right now, you can get the subscription plan or a single pair with 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Jenna Julien. That's MeUndies.com/Jenna Julien for 20% off your first order. This episode is also brought to you by Boll Branch. Boll Branch has reimagined sheets, guys. They've cut out the middlemen, they've cut out the markups. All you do is pick out what you'd like and they deliver it to your front door. Guys, Boll Branch has some of the softest, most comfortable bedding, towels, sheets, everything you need at affordable prices. It really does feel like luxury. Right now, guys, if you go to bollandbranch.com, that's BOLL and branch.com, they will let you try their product risk-free for 30 nights. If you don't love your sheets, your blankets, you can send them back. You have nothing to lose. So all you got to do is go to bollandbranch.com and you get 20% off your order, your whole order, and just use the promo code Jenna Julien. Check it out. Let us know how you like it. Tweet us pictures of your awesome new bed sheets and towels. We currently use them and they're awesome. All right, now back to the Freelee Banana Girl podcast. You're making your rounds in LA. You're doing quite a bit of filming and collabing, right? That's not normal for you though, right?
It's not normal. Yeah. Actually, my first collab was with Joey Graceffa. My first collab ever. I was a collabing
very recently, yeah.
yeah. So that was really good.
Nice. You guys ate bananas, right?
We kind of like peeled them with our teeth. We didn't really eat them. It was very awkward and messy, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shane and Trish last night, and maybe Swade Brooks tomorrow, and a few other people.
That's awesome.
It's been amazing.
You like LA? Have you been here before?
I love LA. I love it. You guys love it too, huh?
Oh, we love it.
We love it. Yeah. We're like LA all the way.
It's pretty awesome. The weather's pretty awesome.
It is.
It stays like that.
I enjoy it more than Australia. I really do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I mean, I feel like I enjoy Australia a lot.
We enjoy
Australia a bit, don't you?
Yeah, we've been
it's pretty
good
fun.
bit of time. Are you in Sydney? Where are you from?
I lived in Sydney for 11 years, but I'm in Queensland and South Australia mainly.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. You know, there's definitely cool places there, but I don't know, a lot of opportunities here, and, you know, the weather is good, and heaps of cool people.
We're a big fan of the word Arvo.
Arvo?
We like Arvo.
What is Arvo?
It's like, do you not use Arvo? We thought it was afternoon, right?
Arvo. Yeah, we say Arvo.
Yeah, so her manager is Australian. She grew up in Sydney.
Her name is Rome. She grew up in Sydney.
And she says Arvo.
She's always like, I'll text you this Arvo. And I'm like, shit, I forgot what that means, morning or afternoon. Fuck.
That's the Arvo. Arvo's the Arvo. Afternoon.
I didn't come here to fuck spiders.
Yeah,
is another
she taught us all these Australian sayings.
Fuck spiders.
But I'm convinced that she made up half of them and she's just trolling us.
I don't know about that fuck spiders one.
It's not one, yeah.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
You move your bed, you find a fucking huntsman. That shit. It's really stupid.
He puts them in his
but
mouth.
We really like. Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh god, you got to show. You got to show
after.
Wait, for fun or they taste good? Or?
Big huntsman in your mouth and let it crawl in your face. There's an outro of some of my videos.
Whoa.
Show you.
Wow.
I have not seen you do that.
That's
it's going to creep you out.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like the bigger...
I've never seen one in person. I've only seen pictures and they're terrifying.
We saw one at the zoo, though. But I feel like the bigger the spider, somehow it, like, humanizes it, so it's less scary. But if it's, like, this big, I get really scared of it.
Okay.
I don't know.
It goes from, like, spiders, like, pet size.
Yeah, once they're, like, furry, I'm like, oh, you're okay. I think you're fine. But anyways,
heaps in Australia.
I wanted to do like a quick background. If anyone doesn't know Freelee is, and you can do this also, but you're probably easily the most visible vegan YouTuber or internet personality ever.
I'd say so.
Just on your main channel, 682,597 subscribers as of earlier today. Mm-hmm. Is that about right?
Yeah.
You have other channels though too.
I have another channel, like a vlog channel.
And then one that got taken down.
Yes, one got taken down. Yeah.
We'll get there. On that channel, 180 million views. You're the author of the ebook, The Raw Till 4 Diet, which is available to download everywhere. Yes. Shameless plug.
Thank you very much.
Shameless.
It could change your life.
You've inspired a lot of people. You've overcome yourself, anorexia, bulimia, chronic fatigue syndrome, acne. You lost 40 pounds. It's about 10 years that you were on raw vegan, different a little bit now, but you rode your bike alone across Australia.
Yeah, I did that. Yep.
Anyways.
Crazy time.
And you have an Italian Greyhound named Figsy.
Yay, Figsy!
This concludes Jenna's summary of your life.
You did well, girl.
How long did that take you?
In a nutshell. What's that?
To ride across? How long did that take you?
It took me about 40 days.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a bit lazy and I started doing less and less Ks and I was just kind of like...
That is, you know what? That is lazy. Biking across...
That's the laziest person.
Yeah.
It sounds impressive. And it was definitely like a period of like big growth for me.
Yeah.
Like personal.
It was at the beginning of you doing raw food diet.
Yeah. It was pretty much the beginning. Yeah. First couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, I just want to do something and, you know, just grow spiritually and emotionally and also lose weight. That was a big motivator at the time.
Got it. And also to say that because it's the coolest thing to say. I rode my bike across Australia.
It's a good resume booster.
Fuck with me.
Sure.
This is your boyfriend.
This is my boyfriend.
Durian rider, Harley.
Cousin as well.
Yeah. You guys really cousins?
Yeah.
I thought, no.
Stop it. They do that in Tasmania.
Oh
not
my
mainland,
God.
Not the mainland.
Jenna says, are you really cousins?
I'm so gullible. Like, I fall for all that shit. If you said that, I'd be like, oh, good for you.
I like it. He's trolling off the bat. I like that. That's good.
The trolling show.
We'll get along well. Yeah.
But you guys have been together for a really long time.
Yeah, nearly 9 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Congrats on that.
Thank you. It's been a journey.
When you guys got together, were both of you vegan? Mm-hmm. You guys are both vegan.
Yeah.
And then you're a cycler, like a lot. Did you convert her to cycling? Cyclist.
He did.
Yeah, basically, Freelee had a car, and then she was living in Sydney.
I was inspired by him.
And I said, come to Adelaide.
Let me take you to Adelaide.
Come to Adelaide, and
then you were swept off your feet.
He swept me away.
Aww.
Yeah, we met on like a raw food forum. It was called Raw Pleasure.
Whoa!
There you go. A bit exciting. Bit of raw pleasure, and he said, I put up photos of myself on the forum.
Yeah.
At the time, I was doing like a 10-day water fast or something like that. Something crazy at the time. And I put up like, everyone's like, put up like before and after photos, put up before and after. So I put up these before and after photos. And next thing I know, in my inbox, Harley's like messaging me saying, hey, I'm coming to Sydney soon.
Yeah,
you can scoot and get in here.
We're
Sorry,
trying.
we didn't have the setup correct yet.
Squish your face in.
So all right, so you slid in the DMs.
People
okay.
Yeah, he's like, I'm coming to
slid
Sydney.
in the DMs.
I'm coming to Sydney soon. Can we like hang out? You're right there.
And then
It looks so awkward like that.
well, you're in the shot now. That's all that matters. So
I keep looking to the left of the screen, but we're on the right.
Oh, we're right into that.
It's reversed.
Yeah, I got you.
Welcome to the homemade podcasting.
I love this. This is awesome.
Well, thanks. But that's really sweet. And you guys have been together ever since. You guys live together and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much 24/7. Hey.
So you're like us though. Like you guys live and work and do everything.
I often think that when I watch your Snapchats and that of you guys together like so much. I'm like, it's like me and Harley, you guys are.
It takes like extra hard work to put the relationship first sometimes.
Because you're always together.
Right.
Yeah, and you could always be working in theory if you wanted to.
Yeah.
There's work everywhere. Yeah.
That's
everywhere.
right.
Yeah, that's interesting. We don't have too many couples that we encounter that go through that pretty regularly. So
Yeah, because you can want to kill each other sometimes.
Totally, 100%. But it's not even your fault, and you don't even know why you want to kill them. You're just like, I'm honestly fucking sick of you right now. You could just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, on to some other questions. Because it's interesting that you guys were both vegans and that you met because you were vegan. But I feel like, at least with Julien, because I've been on and off, I was on and off 2009 and then on. After I went full ethical vegan and really decided that this wasn't just for health, it has like a trickle down effect to the people around you. Yeah. Like you did that on YouTube, but in the biggest, like you don't have to be in a relationship with someone. You can just make some videos. But I feel like if you're in proximity with someone that's vegan, you do tend to make different choices.
Rub off
do you think that's true?
Leading by example. Yeah, it's definitely powerful. Yeah, I had that with my mum as well. My mum was like, oh, heck no, I'm not going vegan. She's like, don't show me that animal slaughter. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know anything about it. It's a fad diet, blah, blah, blah. And then within like 2 years, she went vegan. So she's been vegan for like 6 years now too.
That's crazy.
Just by example.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, I want to jump in here because for the longest time, I mean, I'm an athlete and I had a very hard-nosed, kind of hard-headed mentality, I should say, where I'm just like, I need my protein all the time and I can't eat all that fruit, all the sugar, the stuff you encounter all the time with people saying this and that. And there was a moment where I really just started to feel like crap. Like I was eating meat and I didn't.
Because he's celiac also. He can't eat any meat.
Celiac disease. No gluten. But
his diet was chicken.
It was chicken. It was a lot of chicken and a lot of vegetables.
His diet was just chicken.
Chicketarian.
And it was
Chicketarian.
And I felt horrible. I was starting to really just feel like crap. And this is way into her full vegan stage. She's almost been a year almost now. And she was like, all right, why don't you just, try this one meal at a time? Why don't you try one day a week? And then it's been 4 months and I haven't had any meat and I feel incredible.
Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. No, I mean, it's.
But that's like a trickle down.
It's a complete trickle down
Positive
effect.
influence.
Well, that's
So
crazy.
you guys, you especially, but you also, as of more recently, although you always have, you guys get like a lot of bullshit on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, at first it was pretty hard to take because some of the comments, I'm like, man, people say shit like that.
Brutal,
Yeah, really, really brutal. And, I mean, it's just, I understand it's part of the path. And if I take it personally, I'm making my message about me rather than about the planet and about the animals, about the bigger picture. So if I make it about my ego, then I'm really I'm not making it, it's just detrimental to the cause. So I've just got to step away from my ego and realize, don't take it personally. Some people have to, hear the truth and take offense to it.
Right.
3 stages of truth are ridicule, violent opposition, and then accept it as fact. So some people have
Violent opposition.
That sounds right. That sounds.
Some people
you want to
have
fight
to
it
go
and fight
through
it and
that.
fight it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I understand that. So when I take it personally, I have to step back and go, hang on, this isn't about me. Calm down.
Right.
That's what I do.
Right.
Chels, what about you?
Yeah, haters are what you feel and experience when you take your mind off your purpose. When you take your mind off your passion. Like if you're just like a dog and chasing a rabbit or whatever, it's just focused, locked in. It can't really see anything else. So if you start reading hate comments and start dwelling on all of that, it's because you're not working hard enough or because you're letting your mind slip from what you're here for.
Yeah, for sure.
And the haters make you famous.
But YouTube is like the first time in history anyone can do a viral video, not even show their face or voice, just, as probably knows, people can just make photos of you or whatever and
make
just
up
put it
lies.
up. And YouTube won't even probably take it down. And so you have to deal with that hate machine, and it's a great teacher.
Yeah.
It's just a detachment.
Yeah, for sure. I will tell you, the first time that I figured out who you were, I was hanging out with Furious Pete, the competitive eater.
Really? Okay.
And I think you had just made a video about him. And it was really interesting because I had then found out that you did a video about me. And the people in the comments section, and as someone that had already, been vegan for years at a time, and then back and then forth, I didn't perceive your videos as bullying, but you do get a lot of people that assume that you're bullying these big YouTubers.
Thank you for getting it. Though.
I always got it, though.
Yeah, like that. Oh, that means so much to me. Like if only every YouTuber that I did a video about felt that way, that would.
Well, I mean, because you've seen people about you. They'll make clickbaity videos about you.
Yeah,
There's
but then they're like, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not about the clickbait," and then they'll make like a clickbait video about me. And it's like, come on, we're all essentially about the clickbait. We want people to click on our videos to see whatever message we have, what we're putting out there.
Well, the difference is you have a message.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't.
That's what I feel as well. Yeah. And I just appreciate the fact that you do get it.
I've always
and you didn't take it personally. And I remember your comment.
No.
Your comment was like, you just explained, you said, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You said, I love what you're doing, everything like that. And that meant so much to me. And all your fans are like, you fucking bitch.
I know. Well, see, it's hard for me not to be mad at them also because I'm like, they're coming from a place of caring.
Yeah, I understand.
They're like,
that,
but I'm like, guys, maybe you should watch the video. She's really she's a vegan.
Like starting out, when you started making videos and you started spreading your ideas and your mission, like, do you feel like you had to kind of change into that person? You had to be more brash. You had to be more like kind of maybe polarizing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. More so, more controversial, more in people's faces and stuff like that. Yeah. Because it gets attention, it gets people noticing it. Yeah. If I was just making videos about, vegan smoothies and stuff like that, people aren't going to click on it.
I know. I'm going to talk about that after the break too, because I'm like, I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Oh, good.
But,
you want to become unwatchable and unhearable.
Really?
Someone watches your video, they can't ever unwatch it because it's in their head.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what
I hear
you're
what you're
saying.
saying. Yeah,
The
yeah.
seed is
yeah.
planted. I mean, the truth has to leave an impression on us when we come in contact with it. Whether we want to, acknowledge it or not, it's still going to leave an impression on us. The seed is planted.
It's
whether
really,
they like it
it's
or not.
really
It's there, yeah.
It's there.
No, that's
It's like a
absolutely true.
microchip.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to like them, but you're going to think about them no matter
that's
what.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
you can't even help it.
You don't have to like me. You just need to hear me.
Right.
That's my little
I know.
catchphrase.
Virus.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and it can be, at first, like I said, it was hard. It's like, man, like to take on that role of being hated and just to, get on with things. But I just keep bringing my mind back to the big picture and the animals, and that helps so much.
What do you guys have a good vegan community in Australia? I feel like I see a lot of it online, but LA is pretty progressive in terms of.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger here in LA.
There's more people here.
Just, we have like 28 million people versus
Right.
what do you have here? Like 300 million or something? It's crazy.
Wow, yeah.
Well, California, I think it's like 38 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Australia's
More than
24 million.
Australia?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
The vegan community here it's amazing.
Yeah.
And the amount of restaurants is just, it's
Big.
crazy.
Whole Foods.
Have you gone to Real Food Daily?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
Santa
it's
Monica.
so good.
It's
I think
incredible.
they shut down though.
Shutting down.
Oh, the one in Santa Monica shut down?
I think they're moving,
shutting
maybe.
down.
They're
There's
moving?
one in Hollywood we go to that's
Really?
closer to us. Yeah, it's like near La Cienega or something. But I'd probably move in, right? I don't think they're
hope
doing
so.
well.
Yeah,
I don't
they
think
do
they'd be
really
An
shutting
issue with
down.
landlords.
I think I had to fight
Yeah.
the landlord. But have you had Ethiopian?
I have
Vegan-
not.
Oh my
No.
gosh, vegan
Little Ethiopia. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
you eat with your hands.
Oh,
It's
wow.
really-
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's my style. I just like in Los Angeles, they do make it like, Real Food Daily is vegan. It's cooked vegan, which may not be your wheelhouse until 4 p.m.
Yeah. After 4 it's okay.
But, they make it very accessible they're not like, oh, we're vegan. For the majority of people that haven't done any research, they are like, okay, not knowing. And it's more accessible to them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places like that in Los Angeles because we talk about this all the time with Julien being celiac and people perceiving gluten-free as this wonderful diet and that like the Gwyneth Paltrow's of the world.
Oh, yeah.
But it pushes like when people have actually a disease, when they can't digest it, it's like a push and pull of like benefiting, someone that really needs it or, just everyone's perception of it.
Yeah.
So like maybe places, it would be nice if it was like, we're vegan, we're so super proud and fuck everybody. But like it is nice that they're pushing this, like free of animal byproducts, but making it very accessible to people that aren't too keen on like understanding why,
We need that.
Yeah.
But
But
it
it
reach
does,
the mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. It gets
but
you.
for
yeah.
those of us that are vegan, we're like, yes, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you guys have got so much like variety here. It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Amazon. You get Whole Foods delivered to your house, don't they?
Yeah.
For
Postman-
10% of
that.
your groceries. We don't have to leave.
awesome.
Yeah, do you want to talk about Raw Till 4 at all? Because this is like your thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's
Did you
awesome.
invent it?
Well, my mum actually coined the term
Got
Raw
it.
Till 4, but I kind of designed the program.
Right.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's just eating fruit for breakfast and lunch and then eating a high-carb cooked vegan dinner.
Sounds miserable.
I know,
kidding.
people
It's
do
completely
think that.
amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say that I do it all day, every day, but because we are vegan and it's mostly plant-based, it does end up being like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd say we might cook something for breakfast or lunch.
Yeah.
But,
Which is fun.
I would really love to try the Raw Till 4 because it sounds fucking dope.
My favorite part of the
It's
Raw Till
fucking
4 is after 4 when you get to eat all the rice. That's my
I think
favorite.
that's
Rice is
most
life.
people's favorite bit.
Rice is life.
Yeah, and we're
Rice is
totally
life.
supportive of people eating cooked food all day. Cooked
Yeah.
Rice
eating
is
food all day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine.
For sure.
I mean, like, I think fruit, it's such an amazing food, and getting in like those simple sugars and like just so much nutrition, antioxidants,
Yeah.
beta carotene, all of that living nutrition is really important.
Yeah.
To get that in at least for breakfast.
Yeah.
You get a smoothie in there. And then later on, you're not like wanting heaps of junk food or wanting to binge out because you got that sugar,
Right.
Yeah.
that natural fix of sugar.
That's
If
what
you do
what
it
you
for
tell me
one
all the
day,
time.
you can tell a difference.
Yeah, you
insane.
can. It's pretty amazing.
You
like-
drink that date smoothie of yours and you
yeah.
can tell a difference.
Gatorade.
What is that? Dates and
Gatorade.
water?
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
Daterade.
Not Gatorade, Gatorade.
It's you just blend up dates and water
As a base.
as a
Yeah,
base.
you can
Okay.
add like PB2 powder and like vanilla.
so it's like
essence. so
milkshakey,
good.
yeah.
I made it for Shane, and I was like a bit nervous, but
Really?
he tried it.
Did he
He's
like it?
I love this. Yeah, he really liked
How
it.
was Shane with
Yeah, tell us
with
about hanging out with Shane. I wanna
being
hear about that.
open to vegan?
Yeah, he was
he's been around us. He's cool about whatever.
Yeah. No, he's a really cool dude, as you know.
And entertaining and charismatic.
Yeah.
And all of those things.
He's very entertaining. And we made this cool video last night. I won't give away too much, but there was like knives involved and blood and
that sounds like a Shane
and
video.
Trisha Paytas and screaming and
guys, if you want that, I mean, you're going to have to go find them.
So you've had quite a bit of controversy as of lately with other people.
Yeah, you got two. You got two ongoing controversies.
it's been a busy couple of weeks.
You got
Busy's good though.
Cassie Ho of Blogilates.
Yes.
And Tana Mojo more recently.
Yes.
But,
so you want to start with Cassie?
Well, Cassie to me is the more interesting in terms of community because on the podcast, a lot of other YouTubers have talked about whenever something that's directly affecting the community, it's just, we should talk about it because it's important because we're self-policing. Like we should decide the rules. Yeah. It's bigger to me though because this deals with like freedom of speech.
That's how I feel too.
So why don't you fill us in for those who don't know what happened?
Yeah, so I made a video. I made maybe 3 videos on Cassie. You know, they've been straight to the point, and I've pointed out where she's not eating, you know, healthfully, and she's promoting a calorie restrictive diet. And that's the thing, you know, I'm straight to the point. I'm just like, here you go. This is what it is. I don't call people, you know, the fat and disgusting person, rah, 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 like that. I just point out where they're eating incorrectly and living incorrectly and how their recommendations are affecting the public and young girls.
Irresponsible.
And how it's irresponsible and it's calorie restrictive. I just fucking hate calorie restrictive diets. Yeah. I hate it. You know, because I've been on it myself. I've been helping so many girls, you know, get out of that eating disorder cycle.
Yeah.
Of starving themselves.
It is a cycle.
Yeah.
A money-making cycle.
It is. It's horrible. Yeah. So I made this video. This was like years ago, by the way.
I didn't know that. It was years ago.
Yeah, I made this video and just maybe 2 weeks ago, I got this notification that it's been pulled down. One of my videos was pulled down. So, then striking my account.
Wow.
So, yeah. And then trying to get other videos down and other people
basically
in the community.
you were being stifled. Like
she was trying. Yeah, she was definitely trying to take my freedom of speech. And I'm
she's a big YouTuber. She's got
she's
a lot of
over 3 million subscribers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to do is just help.
We were trying to help.
It wasn't slanderous or defamatory. It's just he's trying to help.
Yeah, if you watch the video, it's not slanderous. Right. It's not defaming of her at all. It's just trying to help her and her audience.
And you always put that little fair use thing in the beginning of your videos. I'm like, Freelee's not. She didn't come here to fuck spiders, man. Like but you're under.
Unfortunately, I have to do that. So
you're like, but you're abiding by that law, and even just by putting it there, you're reminding everyone, like, look, I'm allowed to use this. This is fair use, and I'm allowed to react and say what I want to say.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, it was sad to me because I've seen Cassie kind of stepping up and putting up vegan recipes.
Videos,
and like talking about metabolic damage and how she's never going to diet again and all this great stuff. I'm like, wow, Cassie's on the path. Maybe something's happening here. But then I thought, maybe she's trying to, I don't know, cash in on the vegan movement.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But then when I got this notification, the first notification, I'm like, geez, girl, like, why?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
So you're getting flagged under copyright.
Yeah,
that's
a takedown notice.
So she's saying you have somehow violated your copyright abilities by using portions of her video, even though it clearly falls under fair use.
Yeah.
Which
Content ID is different.
Well, I mean, full disclosure, I don't really know her personally. You know, I'm sure she's a nice girl or whatever. But I'm not coming at this because I'm also a vegan and my views align with your views. I genuinely think it's a big problem on YouTube.
It's stifling.
You cannot quiet someone else's voice because you don't like what they have to say. Yeah. You know, let alone all the other shifty things. My question for you was, have you had any personal contact with her? Have you talked to her about it?
Not at all. She put up like maybe about 7 Twitter posts about it, like saying someone, she just kept calling me someone. Everyone in the comments was like, Freelee, what are you saying?
No, we saw the comments.
So the kind of passive aggressive communication. Like she could have messaged me or emailed me and said, hey, like, you know, can we talk about this video that you got up? I don't like it. Can we talk about it? Right. But no, she went straight for the legal route.
Wow.
And it is, and people don't understand that it is a legal, you know, legally binding document. Like it's not just a lot of people being like, no, it's only like, you know, heaps of people get it. It's called content ID. They automatically get it down. It's not that though.
It's actually a felony in the US.
Is it really?
To file a false digital media copyright claim.
I could sue her, but
what's that going to do for you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're going to be in court spending a whole ton of money, wasting our time while the planet's in the, you know, situation it is. Yeah.
Right. I guess my next question is, if you had any contact with her, and do you think that maybe this is just her? Because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's being ill-advised by people to do this to you.
Maybe, yeah. But I feel like she is a bit of a puppet to some degree, because...
Well, if you have a company that's making as much money as she's probably making, you know, there's a lot of people with their hands in that cookie jar.
That's exactly
trying
right.
to tell you what you should do.
Branding.
That could be true. That could be true, definitely. She took the step to do it, but
Right.
she could have been ill-advised, for sure.
Well, she didn't have... No one was holding a gun to her head saying, write these tweets making fun of Freelee.
Yeah.
Holding a banana gun.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like maybe she's bringing something out, maybe like a book, or maybe something big is coming out, and she wants to clean up her brand. Like, they might search on YouTube and my video comes up. And she's like, I want to get this out of the
And
search.
they can't have that.
Yeah.
There's ways to do that, though. There's ways to do that without, attacking you legally.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I know.
Well, she could-
Send her an email,
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Touch
such an
base.
evil thing to do to another YouTuber. I don't know. It really rubs me the wrong
it's
way.
hitting-
Yeah, that's not
it's
the
hitting you
internet I
where it
signed up
hurts.
for. I didn't
Yeah.
sign up for a censored internet.
I feel like it's bringing the corporate world into the YouTube community, and I feel like that should never happen.
I agree with that statement 100%.
Considering how much effort you put into your channel over like 8 years.
And everyone.
And it's your livelihood.
You put effort into your
You're
channel for
fucking with
years.
someone's ability
Yeah.
to pay their bills and earn a living.
If anyone
right.
understands how important it is to not fuck with the YouTuber's channel and they're legally making videos in their livelihood, it's another YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? If anyone's going to get it, it's another
Yeah,
YouTuber.
if somebody was doing that to me, I'd be like, oh, hell
I know.
no.
I see these stories about people getting strikes and fake claims. I'm like, oh my God, that
a
sounds
mess.
like the worst thing ever. It's just such a headache.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
it
in
is.
theory, it would be nice if YouTube stepped in and was like, look, guys, this is ridiculous.
Well, they
We
just
have to let Freelee have
implemented the
channel."
new thing
It would be
where
nice.
Right.
during
what's the new thing?
during the dispute. So say someone files a claim, they want to monetize on your video, say they want to claim it or whatever. During the dispute, because you can file a dispute, during that period, the money that is getting earned on that video goes into a separate account.
Oh, really?
And then the winner gets all that money. Whereas before, whoever had claimed was automatically getting the money.
Yeah.
Until they
interesting.
figured it out. So yeah,
But that was a
Susan, the
solution
CEO
proposed by YouTubers.
exactly.
Was it?
So
Yeah.
great-
Sitting around and talking
Well,
about
grade
it.
A, under A was a big,
love that,
big
though.
reason why that happened. A lot of channels were talking about that video and the fact that it got so much attention. Susan, the CEO, was like, okay, we're listening.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
it was very impressive.
So there
although
might
it's like,
be hope for you without having to go fight your own legal battle.
Yeah.
That it will get rectified, but it still sucks in the time being that you're unfairly being censored.
Yeah, it does suck as well. And, I don't care if she wants to monetize a video. I couldn't care less. But, to put a strike on my account and,
Right.
and continue to try and get videos down is just really, I think that's wrong. And
Well, especially if she's going to post some vegan videos.
I think there's another thing too. I think a lot of YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, get me wrong. They think I'm scary. Like, they're scared of me. Do you know what I mean? They think I'm like this horrible, aggressive person.
so they attack you because they think they're going to be attacked.
Yeah, they misinterpreted my passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's zeal, it's passion. It's not like hate and,
Yeah.
They mistake passion for anger.
I don't know if you watched it or know who Hank Green is, the YouTuber. He does Vlogbrothers.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, they created VidCon, him and his brother,
Oh, really?
John Green. And John Green is the novelist that wrote, The Fault in Our Stars and all that stuff. They're brilliant, really smart. And he made a really nicely put, from a carnivore perspective, why vegans and vegetarians are so annoying. And it boiled down to was that they're right, and we don't
really?
want to hear it.
Wow, where is that
And
video?
it's online. Hank Green.
Hank Green, it's on
I
his
think
channel.
it's still
Yeah.
titled "Why Vegans and Vegetarians Are So Annoying" or something like
Okay,
that.
I'm going to check that out.
But he's really wonderfully thoughtful and brilliant. He's
He's incredibly
nice
well
guy.
spoken.
Okay.
He's a very smart guy. Yeah. And I really do want to just say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I feel like it's, if anyone made it this far in the podcast and you have felt a certain way about Freelee beforehand, I really hope that listening to a conversation did something where you can see her as a human being.
Check out her
with
videos and
a
check
real,
out her book.
yeah,
Thank
a
you.
message. Absolutely check out her channel. Check out her book.
And try not to take things personally when you watch a video.
Yeah.
And get yourself some MeUndies, get yourself some Boll Branch sheets, links in the description, and we will see you guys next week.